or rinsing it down the sink takes up 10% of all contamination in our drinking water. 10% is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
When you look at the whole picture.
Well,
and that is really disturbing.
Well, but think about it this way. Our fish should be, with all that medication, our fish should be doing great. And our wildlife should be doing great.
Or they should be glowing.
But if
anything unnatural like that in an abundance is just not healthy.
Right.
In any way.
And kind of my facetiousness was there. Some of that probably isn't healthy for humans either. So, anyway. Well, Margaret, what district are you in?
Well, let's see. Like I say, the office is, of course, county-wide, and my district is through Maplewood, North St. Paul, Little Canada, Van Ness Heights, and Gem Lake, and that's District 5.
Okay.
But I represent everybody in the county.
Right.
And I'm really trying to get, we worked on the groundwater protection plan for Ramsey County, the revision and stuff, and, that's still an ongoing thing. But, when I started investigating some more on that issue, really what needs to happen is that we have, instead of municipalities having stormwater plans, because they're not really required by law to have a groundwater protection plan, we need to get some type of uniform groundwater protection plan that covers the entire state of Minnesota. We could be a leader on this. Minnesota we could champion this cause for the country. Because I don't know that any other state in the United States has a single groundwater plan that covers their entire state. And I think in order for you to make a difference and really protect your drinking water, everybody needs to be on the same page as far as prevention, education, outreach, enforcement. Unless everybody's doing the same thing, you never see a change. And I think that's very important, that is a critical issue we should be working on now because, with Homeland Security and things like that, drinking water is a big deal.
Right.
And unless people are directly affected where they see it, they really don't, they don't care. Sadly, they don't care.
Well, and then when somebody else's water is being polluted, but not your own, it's... Most people wouldn't stand up for somebody else's liberties there and rights there to have this clean water, and until it affects them. But it's important, and I like what you're doing and training people. We got to stand up for when somebody's got some bad water. We got to stand up for them and saying, "Hey, corporation, you need to stop this," or individuals, you need to stop this because you're violating this person's rights to have clean water on their own land.
Right, and if you even watch the news today, I know this morning online there was a big story about all these cities that are running out of drinking water. Well, of course, it's going to happen more and more, and they're going to run out of drinking water. Some water is going to be unusable. We're going to see that more frequently now, and that's really tragic too.
All right. Well,
absolutely. Now, I wanted to make sure everybody understands the Conservation District is not a taxing authority. So what we do there is do policy work and things like that, but we don't tax people. Now, we are an elected office. However, like the Watershed District, the Metro Watershed District, they have taxing authority, but their board is appointed. So a lot of people say, well, how can an appointed board raise our taxes? And how can an elected board not raise our taxes?
Right.
So there are a lot of differences, and I realize that my idea about having a uniform groundwater protection plan, people aren't really gung-ho. They are as far as the idea and the concept, but they worry about where the money will come from.
Right.
Okay? For me and my family, having to shell out more money, we're all in hardships already. And, groundwater, it's priceless, especially when you don't have it, okay?
Yeah.
You would do anything for some good drinking water. But, I've been reminded we can't put unfunded mandates on people, okay?
Yep.
I want to remind everybody who has the authority to put something like this in the works is that there are so many state and federal grants available for any and all municipalities to apply for, that they could do this without raising people's taxes.
So you're saying
I think
there's
it's-
money there, but it's not being all utilized?
No, it isn't.
because
But,
people-
it's a matter of priority. What is a priority for
Okay.
Gem Lake? That's their deal. Whatever theirs are,
Yeah.
whatever's for Maplewood, they all have different priorities.
Sure.
But I tell you, the citizens have priorities too. And I don't know of any citizen that would refuse to pay a little to have clean, safe drinking water.
Absolutely. Margaret, we got to go. We got to move on here. Thanks for, we'll have you on again, and I'm sure people are going to want to know what's going on with White Bear Lake and stuff like that. But thanks for calling in and giving us this information. Again, people, an open seat available for, there we go, I forgot the name, Conservation
The Ramsey
Commissioner.
Conservation District. It's District 2 that's
District
up
2.
for, that has the vacancy. And I appreciate your time, Tim. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you, Margaret.
Have
All
a
right.
great night.
You bet. Thank you. Okay, people, seat open. It's appointed seat for right now, just to fill out the term of Nick Quaid. And there's your chance. You got till November 30th, and go to the Ramsey Conservation District website to find the application. All right, we're not going to show the DVD on the Maplewood garbage. I'm just going to do a quick explanation here. We got some other videos going on that I want to show you today. But here's my point with the Maplewood garbage, or anybody. And I know White Bear, my understanding is White Bear has government trash collection. Here's what happens. I have a piece of paper here, and whose piece of paper is this? Okay, it's mine. All right, now the government can't take this piece of paper without a warrant, or they see me committing a crime. Okay, it's my paper, and I can write on this paper, whatever, do what I want. I can actually give it to somebody else. Now here at the studios, I can actually take this paper, wad it up, and throw it in the garbage here, okay? And they have these garbage cans around here that I can do it. But and so then it's basically their paper to dispose of as they see wish. Now if I'm at my home, I have this piece of paper, and I can put it in a box. I can put it in my laptop computer, I can hang it on the wall. Boy, I like the way that crinkled up. You've got that nice little rip in there. You know what? Put it at an angle here. That's a nice piece of art. I'm going to hang it on my wall. It may look like garbage to you, but for me it's something special. But now I'm going to go put it, and I'm going to put it in my garbage can. Whose property is this? Still mine, okay? Because my garbage can is on my property. And I may not put my garbage can out for 3 weeks because I don't have much garbage. Okay, this is mine. This government has no right to this piece of paper without a search warrant and without, or seeing me commit an act of crime and in their presence. Okay? So I go out and I put this on my garbage can. I put my garbage cans out in the street because I am taking this paper and I'm giving it to another entity. I'm giving it to my trash collector. My trash collector then will take this garbage, and the contract is that they dispose of it. Okay, and that's a private contract between me and that garbage collector. I have the right of contract. I have the right of association. I have a right of assembly. I have property rights. And believe me, if you don't have property rights, you don't have any rights, because they can take anything from you if you don't have property rights. That's why property rights is the foundation of our country, built right there in the Declaration of Independence. That's when our country started. Okay, it is the foundational document for our country, the Declaration. You know, yeah, we have our Constitution. That Constitution changed. The Declaration doesn't. Okay, we have to create a whole new declaration in order for our country to change. Okay, that's the founding document. That's property rights there. I have it. Okay, government can't get at it. So I give it to somebody else in a contract for them to dispose of it. Okay, it's not the government's. The government has no right in this. What the government can do, like with the, get this right here, the Ramsey, the Conservation District, they can protect other people's rights. Okay, so that they can regulate that trash collector so they don't pollute the water, they don't pollute the air, they don't violate somebody else's rights to life and liberty. Okay, so the government has no business in trash collection except to make sure that everybody else's liberties are protected. White Bear Lake should go against the forced taking of property. Maplewood should not establish their forced taking of property. Okay, it is wrong. That's the mindset you have to walk through in this thing. And Alan Cantrud, you're the attorney for Maplewood. I hear you advise them. I hear you give them recommendations on what they can do and what they can't do. Your responsibility is to tell them, you can't do this. Okay? Have some guts. Your law license is on the line. You're violating your oath of office to uphold the Constitution by not advising them that, hey, there's property rights issues here. You have no right to that garbage. They can take it to whoever, and they can have whoever they want pick it up and dispose of it. It's a transfer of property between two individuals under a contract. And as long as nobody's constitutional rights are being violated, Maplewood, you got nothing to do with it. Nothing. And so you think you're going to be more efficient and less effective, you know, just look at your community center. Why don't you square away your community center first? Get that profitable. You get that profitable, then sell it, because you got no business being involved in that community center either. Okay, you're not a corporation to make profit. Of course, obviously, you're not doing that with the community center. You know, God forbid, you're telling us who don't use it, the people who don't use it from Maplewood, you're telling us to pay for it through taxes. And a lot of people don't use that center, but you're forcing us to pay for a recreation. Doesn't work that way. You don't get to do that. All right, so remember, Maplewood, lawsuits are coming because you're violating people's property rights. And the same goes for the recycling. There's plenty of recyclers out there that I can choose to contract with to take my recycling. And how do you know what recycling I have to take or not? You don't know, okay, until I put it out there. And even then, you don't know. It's none of your business as long as I'm not violating somebody else's constitutional rights and having garbage strewn all over somebody else's yard. All right, you guys in the room, we're going to skip that first section and then go to do the other one. So, you know, about 9:04 where Greg Wurzel comes in. All right, this next here, we're going to show some clips. There was a judicial forum down at the Hubert Humphrey Institute, it was the Center for the Study of Politics and Governance. And this basically was a forum, somewhat of a debate on whether we get to elect our judges anymore or not, or whether some elite people appoint them for us based on their special knowledge and eliteness and intellect. And remove our right to vote for judges. Now, that's a biased statement on my part, but it's also biased on their part to say that we're elite, we know what's going on, we get to pick the judges, not you. And so a number of these, there was Chief Justice Magnuson, Greg Wurzel, who ran for the Supreme Court, and a couple other people. I'm just going to show you some of the dialogue between Chief Justice Magnuson and Greg Wurzel. And if we have time, we'll show some of the other stuff. But what was really interesting here is that the moderator, Larry Jacobs, from the Hubert Humphrey Institute, was not unbiased. He was asking very loaded questions. And so actually what also happened is that they were going to have this forum